With everything going on right now, millions of people are tuning in every day to see our first guest try and make sense of it all. From CNN, please welcome the Tap Man, Jake Tapper.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm used to that. That's a smattering. You'll fix that in post. The applause.
Yeah.
Oh, well, listen, hold on. I'm going to fix it right now.
Okay. There we go. Nice.
Yeah. I have that for when I come home every day. It's good to see you. How are you? How's the family?
We're all hanging in. You know, I got a 12-year-old daughter who you know, and a 10-year-old son, and the remote learning thing is not good. It's not how kids are supposed to learn.
No.
Although Jack did a paper on Bill Clinton, and he loved learning about Bill Clinton's indignant lie about how, you know, these charges are false. I mean, we were able to get him into history that way, so it wasn't all bad.
Yeah. Oh, that's a nice history lesson. Yeah, that's. So let's talk about the new family member that you got. I understand you. How old is this? And do we have a picture of this tortoise?
Scooter is there. He is. Scooter is somewhere between 6 and 9 months old. Alice has wanted him for, I don't know, about 6 months to a year. And through sheer attrition, we agreed to do it. And it's actually her reward for her Bat Mitzvah, which is coming up. She's going to have a virtual Bat Mitzvah, so it'll be in our house, and that's her Bat Mitzvah present. And
Mazel tov.
Thank you so much. And she's very happy about Scooter.
Does it live outside?
No.
In the backyard?
No, she takes him outside if it's warm enough, but he has his own. It's not really a cage; it's wooden. It's a nice little home in her room. And but they're not. When I was a kid, I had lizards, and they really smelled, especially after they died. But and we had fish. And the good news is that this is like a dry animal, so it doesn't have the smell. At least not that I've been able to tell.
But
right.
Don't they live for like ever?
They live for like 100 years. What are you going to do with that thing?
Well, I told Alice, you know, she has to
family
take him to college. So, you know, wherever she goes, wherever she's going to have to bring the tortoise.
But they get enormous. How is she going to carry? They become like 1,000 pounds.
I'm told it's going to get a little bit bigger, but I don't think it's going to be a sea tortoise. I don't think it's going to get that large. I hope not. But if
Ellen's thinking of dinosaurs.
But
No, they have huge tortoises, and they live to be like 100 years old.
Well,
let's look into this. Somebody look into
the good news, Ellen, is that I have a friend who's very active in the conservation movement and has lots of outdoor spaces, and that friend is you. So,
good.
So I might just stick some stamps on him and send him on his way if he gets that big.
Ellen's about to get a tortoise.
You just put stamps on them. You don't, because it'll just tuck itself in. Yeah, you don't need to put it in any kind of thing. So listen, let's talk about what's happening in the world today, because the last time I saw you, it was a year ago. The Mueller report was about to come out. Now, all of that seems like, it was a year ago, and it seems like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, it sure does. I never would have thought that the Mueller report, those are the salad days, the joyous days of the Trump administration, the Mueller report. It's awful. It's horrible. I mean, this pandemic is just devastating to so many people in terms of health, in terms of death, in terms of the economy. I don't know exactly where this is all going. I feel like the country and governors are kind of taking let's hope for the best approach with the reopening, and I certainly hope that works out. But I also see this weird. Wearing a mask is becoming a partisan issue, which is so bizarre to me. I mean, I know a lot of Republican governors don't want it to be one. There was a very tearful address by the governor of North Dakota saying, please don't, if you wear a mask, this is not a statement of what political party you believe in. This is, that person might have a 5-year-old who's dealing with cancer treatments. This is about respect. But according to polling, this is becoming yet another divide in the culture wars, which is just so bizarre to me. My dad's a doctor, my mom's a nurse, so I just never thought of these things in those terms.
I would hope, and maybe it just is going to take a little while, but I would hope that what this does is bring us all together. I mean, do you think that that's a possibility?
I think it is a possibility that it could sometime, but I mean, I think just pure empirical political evidence, President Trump is somebody who seeks to divide. I mean, that is one of the ways that he has risen, is by grabbing a divisive issue, like the lie that President Obama was not born in the United States, and riding it. I mean, this is what he does. His fans like it. He brings others along, Republicans, some independents, and it's quite a contrast. Now, President Obama did things that divided the country here and there, but often he wasn't intending to, as a strategy. Sometimes, like for instance, the one I think about all the time is the last thing I ever did with President Obama. We did a town hall with military members of the military and veterans, and at that town hall, so this is in 2016, I think I think that was the first year of Colin Kaepernick staging his protests, kneeling during the national anthem so as to protest police brutality and innocent blacks, unarmed African American men getting killed, et cetera. And Obama was asked about it by somebody who thought it was disrespectful to soldiers, thought it was disrespectful to the troops. And what Obama did was basically say that people need to listen to each other, that the people who are protesting during the anthem need to listen to the people who are offended by it, and the people who are offended by what Colin Kaepernick was doing need to listen to why Colin Kaepernick is doing that and felt the need to do it. But this is exactly the kind of thing that President Trump dives into in order to, gin up the culture war and divide people, not only bad-mouthing Colin Kaepernick and others, but, insulting them, calling them sons of bees in a big rally, and I think it was in Alabama even. And that's one of his keys to success so far, dividing. And I think that coronavirus and the response to it's been part of that as well.
And even something as simple, sorry to jump in, but even something as simple as wearing a mask has become a political issue.
That's how this whole conversation started, Andy.
Okay, sorry.
Thanks for jumping in. When you want to jump in next time, listen from the beginning, and then you're free to jump in whenever you want.
He's tweeting.
You can jump in.
I'm going to go down. I'm going.
Okay, we're going to take a break, and I'm going to give him some food. He's hungry. We'll be back.